wanting to check one of these out for a while, just because of the vintage appeal that it has. You'd be forgiven for thinking this is an F10, I believe, circa 60s folk revival Guild guitar. It's one of their new Troubadour series. Actually, it's called the Troubadour. I'm not sure if it's a series, but it is the M240E, and it says here, designed in California. So yeah, it's probably conceived of from the Guild factory. I think what they take over the old Tacoma factory. Oh, that's not in California though. Is it the San Diego one? I can't remember. But these are sort of built to emulate those 60s folk era guitars, so it's very much, you know, a smaller, meant for singer-songwriter. Troubadours, of course, with the 12th century collective that they all sort of adopted a spiritual mistress and sung and composed songs of courtly love. And we think of troubadours now as traveling folk type players. So there's been a long tradition of troubadour music. And the idea that the guitar is portable, you've got a movable DeArmond pickup on here with a built-in tone right at the bottom of the bar there. I like it. I like the retro appeal to this. And it's got a nice ring. It's got a smaller porch guitar sound. Got some nice ring. You can really dig into this. But a sweetness too. Yeah, it's nice. Solid Sitka top. This sort of vintage sunburst. Just on the top, the back and sides are standard mahogany with the arch back. Guild loves to do this. I had a lot of Guilds with arch backs. Supposedly gives you more rigidity in the construction and also projection. Beautiful whirly rosewood board with the standard shield Guild headstock. The very vintage button tuners, open gear. They've hit all the right notes on this, and I believe this thing is about $450, something like that. Probably pick a used one up for $100 less, depending on the condition. I've plugged the DeArmond in, and it sounds pretty decent. When it came to me, it was actually mounted on the wrong side of the hole, and it sounded awful. It sounded uneven. And then I realized it's supposed to go up here, at the top of the hole, sort of where a neck pickup would go on a electric guitar. And then the pole pieces line up. When it had slipped down to the lower part of the hole, the pole pieces were off, and it sounded very uneven. But it's fixed now. Had to do some setup stuff. Even though these are nice solid top guitars, they are still budget imports. They're not top of the line Guilds. So when I get them, I have to do setups on these just as much as I do the $100 guitars. Often with slightly sharp fret ends, burrs on the frets. Often the action is a little high or a little low, so I have to mess with the saddle or sometimes make a truss rod adjustment. All that's pretty normal. I'm used to doing it, and I pretty much do it for everything that comes in. Just on the floor here, I have a Oscar Schmidt, this Guild, an Alvarez Classical, and a Washburn Electric Classical that have comprised the last 4 videos, and every one of them went on my bench for half an hour, 45 minutes a day, getting the same sorts of treatment. So that's pretty standard. So if you order one of these online, just expect, even though it is a Guild, it's still going to need some tweaking. This one here I got as a second. You can't see it, but I touched up a ding down here, which came out really nicely. can barely see it, and only in the right sort of light. And then there was a ding here on the back, and I ran CA glue in there, closed it up, and then applied some touch up and a little bit of fresh lacquer. I can barely see that there. I don't know if you can see it in the light, but it's fixed, and this make a very good guitar. I don't think they do this in the natural. I think this is the only finish they do this particular model with. They do another version of this Troubadour without the soundhole pickup. This is the only one I've seen with the soundhole pickup, this vintage sunburst one. It's a bit of a shame because I think I would prefer the natural finish. However, I do see the appeal of this. It's got a very sort of 50s, 60s, definitely folk revival type guitar. I don't know if your parents or maybe you remember those days, but a lot of folkies like these soundhole pickups. A lot of times they would just you know, sort of tape them into the soundhole of the guitar and have wires run everywhere. This is a little cleaner because it runs out of a jack. It's wired, but you can move this. You can take it out. There's a 1/4-inch plug. You just unplug it and take that off and just have an acoustic guitar with very few wires on the inside. So it's cleanly done, but it certainly does capture that sort of vibe. Also with the tortoiseshell pickguard, you know, you get sort of a 60s, 70s vibe to it. I like the fact that it's all open pore satin finished, satin neck as well. These are nice. I've been looking forward to getting one of these because at the moment, I have a particular love of smaller body guitars. I don't know why, I'm just going through a phase. And I see these all the time, you know, being advertised. And I said, you know, as soon as I find one that needs a little bit of work, I'm going to grab it just so that I can do a video on it. And I'm glad I did. It's fun to play. It does play a lot like that Les P James Nelligan Parlor. It's got the same sort of bright, ringy tone. A lot of sustain too. Yeah, it's really nice. It's got a really nice tone to it. I might keep this around for a little bit. It's definitely fun to play. And a little bit different to everything else that's in here. But happy to show this to you. This is the Guild Troubadour M240E vintage revival model by Guild. And it's a lot of fun. And for the price, for the money, if you can pick one of these up for $350, something like that, I think they're really good value, really nice value. But you got to like this sort of vintagey finish, because I think that this one with the DeArmond soundhole pickup, I think this is the only version they do of it. So you're stuck with this look, and you can emulate your parents from the 60s with it. All right, folks, see you on the next video. Take care.